So at this point, we've managed to avoid the escaping reference by creating a copy of the original object, but it's not the most elegant solution because the client might think that they're getting an object they can change that object, and they might think that change is going to be persisted, and as we've seen, it hasn't been. So what's the better solution? It's to try and provide a read-only copy of the customer object. This is very much trying to mirror what we did a few moments ago with collections. We decided the best option was a read-only collection, and the best option here is going to be a read-only customer. So how we're going to do that is with a clever trick using interfaces. What we're going to do is start with our customer class, and I'm going to extract an interface from this class. And I can get my IDE to do that if I right click and choose refactor, and down here is an option which says extract interface. So I'm going to say that in our interface, well, we want to give it a name first of all, and I'm actually going to call this read-only customer. And our read-only customer interface is going to have the getName method and the toString method, but it's not going to have the setName method. I'll click on OK here. And what does this now mean? Well, first of all, we have an interface in our project called read-only-customer, which has two methods called getName and toString. Our customer class implements read-only-customer. I'm just going to remove these comments up here. And what that does is it overrides our getName and toString methods. But it also provides some additional methods, some constructors and a setName method. So how does this help us? Well, if now we say that our find method of the customer class is not returning a customer, but is rather returning a read-only customer, and I'm just going to make that one little change there, save that, go back to the main method, what we'll find is that because records.find is getting a read-only customer, there is no setName method, so we can't call setName. This line of code is now not compiling. I'm just going to comment that line of code out and run that. And we can see that's working. So we've managed to create a read-only customer by using interfaces. And this is even better than the collections version. We don't get a runtime error, we get a compile time error. We can't call setName on a read-only customer. Now, this isn't completely foolproof because a nasty client might guess what we've done and realize that we can actually get around this problem using a cast. What I could do is say, let's find our record John, and we'll store that. Let's store it as a read-only customer. And I'm just going to call it C, I think. And then what we could do is say, let's create a customer, and I'll call that customer. And say that is going to be, we're going to take our C object and we're going to cast it to an object of type customer. Having done that, I can call customer.setName and set the name to J. And if I do that, I will have got around the problem of trying to change my customer's name. Or will I? Let's run the code. No, we've still got John here. We've not mutated the underlying state of the underlying records. We've still only changed our local copy. So even though I've tried to do something a bit naughty here and get around this read-only problem, actually, we still have avoided the escaping reference. So let's just finish this chapter by thinking about what's the performance impact of this. Well, here we are creating a brand new customer object, and we are copying each of the parameters in that customer object. So actually, this is duplicating completely the object on the heap. Now, again, it shouldn't be a huge performance impact because what we're duplicating is the references. So in this instance, that's going to be 8, maybe 16 bytes, that's all. And of course, it's going to be short-lived. When we learn about garbage collection, we'll see that short-lived objects are good in terms of memory and performance. So this should be a low impact solution as well.